October the 8th, 2020. Guys, you're looking at the latest update from the National Hurricane Center on Hurricane Delta. This came out at 8 p.m. Eastern, which would be about 23 or 24 minutes ago. Here, we're at Central Time. Now, what we're seeing is it's already become a Cat 3. It's going to remain a Cat 3 to this point, which would be 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, just after lunch. It's already half the storm is ashore. This is just indicating the central center of circulation. As we'll look at the radar and satellite images, you'll see it's much larger than this red dot. And guys, the last few videos I mentioned, they were talking that I did. They were talking about it being a 3 or 4, but as it got this close to shore, it would be a 2. And I said then that that was just an indication of the storm already touching, and that the land automatically slows down. When you come out of that open ocean, whether it's trees or hills or whatever it is, then it starts to slow down, and it loses the some of the heat energy from the water itself. But now coming ashore, it's remaining a 3. What is that telling us? That it's going to be stronger than a 3 before this point. Now, it may be just a strong 3. I think, again, 130 will get us into a Cat 4 situation. It's at 115 now. But if the storm is going to be touching the southern coast of Louisiana, again, center circulation is between the Sabine Pass at Texas and almost to central Louisiana on the southern coast. We know it can change at the last minute, but the models are coming together. But my point is here, if it's going to be touching shores at Cat 3, then it could very well strengthen between tonight and this point. Katrina came in as a Cat 3, guys. I don't have to remind anyone in Louisiana and Mississippi the effects that it had. These are the latest spaghetti models, again, at 8 p.m. Eastern. And everything's tightening up along that central or west central Gulf shores of Louisiana. You still have the TBS model, and I think they've learned basically in their programming in one of the models to account for that hard right turn. Many people along the coast of Florida especially have learned the lesson bitterly. So maybe they're kind of changing some of the program, but here's our main indicators. Furthest to the left, the most accurate furthest to the left is the Canadian model. Furthest to the right, coming ashore, is the number one model as far as I'm concerned, as far as accuracy, is the Navy model. We call it NavGem. And then you've got other spaghetti models pulling it harder to the right, coming in through down below Macomb, Mississippi, around the Baton Rouge area and up through central Mississippi. So what you got to remember, guys, regardless of where these spaghetti lines end up, it's going to be this section to the right of the center of circulation that's going to catch it. Wherever it's coming ashore, it's going to be rough here. And even when it gets down to a Cat 1 in this area, guys, that's still powerful winds, tornadoes, uprooted trees, power outages, flash flooding, all of the above. So I will watch this, guys, later tonight, first thing early in the morning. We've been getting preparations done here all day. Just had time to sit down and look at this information, and I'm kind of absorbing it as you are. But again, I think the main thing is that they're showing it come ashore as a Cat 3. That's very damaging, and it's coming over areas that you guys got hit with in Louisiana, less than a month ago, somewhere around that area. And then Florida got hit by Sally. Well, let's take a look at some satellite images as it's getting sunset here. But the higher clouds, guys, are in the blue. And notice coming ashore in Louisiana and Mississippi and sections of the panhandle of Florida and Alabama, we're already getting rain. It's raining now as I speak. It started a couple of hours ago. It's not intense or anything like that, but it's here and it's starting to saturate the ground. And you know what that means, that it's easier for some of the bigger oaks and things like that to be blown over once they get saturated. So we're starting to get rain now, and that's going to continue for the next 24 hours or so. Let me point out something in the Caribbean here, just something to keep an eye on. We got some low pressure forming here. There's another storm forming off of Africa. Notice how active the entire Gulf is and the Caribbean. Take a look at this infrared imaging from tonight. We're getting classic Cat 3 eye signatures here. What you're seeing is the sun has gone down. Some of the eye wall is collapsing. It's just part of this regeneration process that we're seeing. Guys, those, as it gets black and then white and gray into these clouds that you see around the center, that's just that much more powerful. Again, I want to point out to the bottom right of the screen. Now, no one's talking about it as far as the putting up any information, but I will definitely keep an eye on the bottom right coming out of the Caribbean here. We've got one low pressure system, and it could be fed by some major storms. We're just going to have to watch this. Now, again, you can see coming up into Louisiana, and all you guys know where it's at. And you may be getting some sprinkles in Texas in some much needed areas. And it's been, honestly, very dry here for the last 2 or 3 weeks in central Mississippi. But it's just, if you're starting to get these sprinkles, it's not going to get much better for the next couple of days. Now, again, I'm going to watch for the updates tonight. I'm going to hang in there as long as I can. It's been a long day getting prepared. But you guys, it's already a very dangerous situation. We're watching it. You watch it. It's a heads up. Be safe.